and I'm probably gonna go edit the README soon, so we might need it retranslated. I will hit you up.
No problem. I can help.
I unfortunately don't have anyone Japanese, Chinese, or Portuguese like next to me for the other ones, so they all tend to lag behind a little bit. Maybe we can get a Spanish translation from Mark at some point. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. Muy bien. ¿Y tú? Yeah. De nada. I took some Spanish in college or high school at some point. Vladimir, you're from Russia? No, we have a Russian or Ukrainian. I feel like we could use translations for those too. Yes, we have alternative. Well, okay. Eventually, the goal is to get the docs, all the docs translated. But README is a good place to start. People seem to be inclined to add the translations for the READMEs. Interestingly enough, the docs translation is blocked by an issue in MDBook, which we have our own fork of MDBook to get around that. But it means we're like a gazillion commits behind MDBook. Yeah. So if you actually look at the insights of like who uses what Dioxus and where and stuff, like China and Japan are like half of the users. I guess it kind of makes sense. There's a lot of Flutter like enthusiasm in China, and I guess Japan to a lesser extent, but like half. So it might be worth translating our docs. Oh, we have 2 Russian. I haven't checked how many people are using it from Russia. Yeah, time to learn Japanese. Well, someone translated it. There, some project, Dip, some like crypto thing. 2 years ago, I think the person who built this is like heavy ECS, Dioxus, Web3, crypto. It was definitely a blend of interesting projects. Okay, we'll do a little bit of demo. We probably won't use the whole time unless there's like a lot of questions. I kind of want to get this release out, so we'll speed through it. But let me share my screen. I can say hi or turn on my face. Yo, hello. How's it going? I'll share entire screen. Here. You can see the monstrosity that is my GitHub notifications. We have 964 pages. If someone wants to help me get through it, we'll take some help. In terms of 964, and there's like 25 per page, right? 25 per page. Yeah, to Dioxus alone over like 500 issues. But if you look, oops, hold on, go to Dioxus. There are no open pull requests, which is a far cry from where we started at the beginning of the year. There was like 50 open pull requests. So things have definitely improved. We've closed over 1,000. We finally hit like the magic number, 1,024. Yeah, and a bunch of stuff this morning. In terms of stuff left on the milestones for this release, I think this is done. I need to go check whether or not the tutorial's been fixed. I think we merged some fixes. And then these 2 are literally just like release 0.5. So we're done feature-wise. We're still running into little bugs here and there, but the polish is there in a way that it hasn't been there before. we have the blog post, which I'll put in the chat today just to get like one last look over. We'll probably schedule the release post for tomorrow, but we'll do the release today because I want to go to sleep at a normal time. So 0.5, ideally, provided all bugs are fixed, is going to be out today. You guys get a little sneak preview of it. I mean, it's out. Alpha 2 has been out for a while, so you can just use that one. But a lot of bugs have been fixed in between Alpha 2, which was like 2 days ago, and today. So we're going to start from scratch. I took this photo. This was in Japan. Let's clear, make this really big. All right, you guys can see my terminal, I hope.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can see? Good?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. CD, Kring, MKDir, office hours. Oh, I spelled office hours wrong. Office hours. So Doge, or affectionately Doge, has helped join. Well, he's joined the team. Oh yeah, big announcement. Hi, Doge. Say hi.
Hello. It is I.
Yeah. So Miles, okay, yeah, has joined the team in a like more official capacity. So we have recruited help to maintain STD, the doc side, just like Dioxus in general. But we have converted him to a core team member, which is fantastic. Yeah, you want to like say something?
Hi.
What are you gonna be working on, or what? Yeah, what have you worked on? So I've merged a bunch of stuff from you already, but what are you working on, and like what's next?
I'm currently working on porting Dioxus charts to 0.5. I know I want to sometime soon start working on maybe some example projects and adding some more to the docs. So far, that's really all I have planned. And what I have, I know you've seen the template and the fixes I've done for the docs and stuff.
Cool. Yeah. I think the STD charts, the community stuff, and like the component library. Ideally, well, we'll get at the V1 of the component library out. It could have 5 components, but I think just to say that we have something would be a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to be like, this is the Dioxus component library, and then like somewhere on the website we could like feature it, and like you can drag the components in. I mean, I have a lot of Tailwind templates we could just like convert to Dioxus components and clean them up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yes, one of the features. Oh, go ahead.
And something else that I want to look into is having. I'm not sure what all would need required for this, but I would want to get the Dioxis standard and Dioxis components, the documentation for that, onto the Dioxis labs.
Yes, yeah. I don't know what that would take either, but we should look into it. The lookbook, Matthew Hunzinger at some point like built the lookbook thing, and like you could like annotate a component and it would give you like the preview. We might be able to integrate some of that work into the doc site too. So we have components, and then you get like the preview on the website. Okay, without further ado, the thing Doge has shipped or like has improved are the templates, and then I tweaked a little bit of like some of the like the contents of the templates, but yeah, one of the big upgrades that needed to happen that has now happened is DX new. You can select the template that you want. We got web, live view, full stack, desktop. We'll start with desktop. Office hours, desktop. I'll just do vanilla. We'll not use the router. And then we've got the project. So this is like create React app, but for Dioxus, so create Dioxus app. It's all updated to 0.5. So you can just create a new project from scratch, but having used this once, I'm addicted. I used to like do everything from scratch, but now this is just like way better. This is the new CLI as well. So like a bunch of fixes have been merged into it. it's similar to Create React app. You actually have like a CSS and SVG to start with, so like assets. So I just like ripped the header off the website, and then this is like the default code that you're given. So the app component, logger. We have like the non-snake case. Actually, we don't really need this, but it's fine. And then if we open our terminal, put here, I can dx serve. So serve now takes your platform into account automatically, which is one of those cool. Oh, platform. Oh, it should. Oops. Available monitors. What did we? We're supposed to do a live demo. Oh, that's right. Because this is pointing to Git. Hold on. This has to point locally. For now, because we haven't actually released Dioxus yet. That seems broken. Wait, what's broken? I did this literally 5 seconds ago. The template testing. Doing a different one real quick. I did this. Okay, yeah. I don't know what's up with this project. Well, we did it literally 5 seconds ago. Anyway, this is like the new. Yeah, I don't know why it's targeting WASM. I think there might be a merge conflict. It's weird because this is also like the same. Need to go figure this out. Anyway, this is what it should look like. This is the new template that you get, and also the window floats on top in debug mode now. So like you can go edit in your editor and the window doesn't like drop behind, which was like a big issue in the previous theme. Let me just open this instead. Serve. Yeah. Hot reloading is enabled by default now. So window floats on top. You can resize it. We can edit. So we have this like learn Dioxus. So we can learn Dioxus now. Hot reloading is on. You don't have to go turn that on. So before you would have to like dx serve, you'd have to specify the platform, and then you'd have to turn on hot reloading. We've kind of put it through its paces with the 0.4 release cycle. So now it just like works by default. So we can do this. You can edit the rest code, of course, like equals 1, 2, 3. This will perform a full rebuild, and then the yeah, so there's an option to disable it, and you can do it while it's running. So we can actually turn off float on top, and now it pops behind. Yeah, I don't know what the default should be. It is nice that like when you serve, it's on top, but it does seem confusing. I don't know. I'll take feedback. Default should be off. Oh, okay. So the default should be like it sits behind. So we persist information about the window. So we could like, if you toggled it on top once, we could save that between runs. So it's not that inconvenient. Like that could be a persisted thing. But it's only in debug. So if I run this in release, we'll see. Or it might be in serve. Also, this might just crash. Yeah, at least on Mac, yeah, you can control it. Okay, something's busted.
I think you forgot to specify platform.
Yeah, it should be automatic. I think. Oh, I think I was editing. I was editing this crate from the registry. Sorry. There's dot cargo. Where's this registry source? All right, nice. Yeah, okay. I think I was just like editing that in place and then it didn't work. Should refetch the crate. Ah, there you go. Don't edit the registry in place. Or like when you click into definition into like they're like the crate that you're using here. I'll show you. When you click into Dioxus logger, see how it's like in the registry? Yeah, I was editing that to debug something. Nope, no, my demo should have just worked. Cool. Okay, yeah, yeah. So like it defaults in release mode. It flips behind. But you guys are saying default in debug should also be flip behind, like when you tab away. Okay. Maybe I can like put a button up here that says like float on top. So like rather than edit and help, like rather than this being like hidden, it's just like a button up here. On top. I would love for this to be interactive where you press a button, like you press the T button and it puts the windows on top. Yeah. And also doesn't participate in the window manager when you do it like this. Actually, I don't think it participates in the window manager at all right now. The default behavior is not a configurable thing at the moment. It's just like this. Or like in release, it doesn't do it. It's just the debug assertions thing. Hmm. Okay. Another cool feature is when you, yeah. What does Flutter do? Debug? Oh, like you press that, you like click that little debug flag. Clickable to make it floating. Yeah, I'm thinking as long as like people aren't worried about it, we could add like a couple little buttons into the web view in debug mode, like literally just that. Yeah, maybe we'll do that, or like a little Dioxus orb that's like floating or something like that that you like press and you get options. I mean, eventually we want like a separate window or the actual web view to be locked into smaller places. So you get like a little studio interface that you can like, I don't know, test components and things like that. Is that DevTools overhaul? Oh, do they? Okay. Okay, we might do that. We have to somehow composite them together, but that might be itchy. That's okay. We'll look into that. That might be the move. Okay, so the cool thing is, if you edit your code before, the window would like pop up in the same part of your screen, so it's like super annoying. So if you're like editing, you save, and it like flashes back up in front of you. Now it maintains its window size and position on the screen. So if you edit this and we put it basically into like an iPhone layout and you edit your Rust code, oh, that number's too big. It gets snapped back to where it worked. And if you have multiple monitors, it goes back to the right monitor that it was on, unless you have two monitors with different DPI. So sorry, that doesn't work. That's a bug in Tau. But yeah, I can't show you. I don't have like I can't screen share two monitors. I don't think. But you could believe me when I say if it's on a separate monitor. Uh, it does that work for tiling window managers? Yeah, both. Evan and I have tested this, and it just floats, so it doesn't participate in the window manager. So it's like you resize it yourself. But I don't know how it works on like Linux or Windows. But at least on Mac, it doesn't participate. I don't know like normally it participates, but I think it's because it's like running in dev mode. The window manager doesn't pick it up. Oh, you can do multi-web view. I'm looking. All right, we'll play with that. The other cool thing is we have CSS hot reloading. I've been talking about this for a while, but we can actually edit this. Oh, hold on, that's not a color. If you edit your style sheets, the app updates live. Yeah, okay, good. You see it. So you can do like green, blue. I don't know, what was the original number? FFF. Yeah, so that's instant. And this should also work with Tailwind. I conveniently did not make a project with Tailwind set up. But yeah, if you edit the CSS and you have Tailwind watching the background and it runs like the Tailwind recompile, it will spit out a new Tailwind compiled item into the asset directory, and that gets hot reloaded. And so with those two things in tandem, you get Tailwind hot reloading. I need to go test it before we like say that's officially a feature, but I know, yeah, Andrew, you've been like, I'm not gonna do this until it has Tailwind hot reloading. Well, yeah, there you go. Finally added it. It took a moment. No, implemented manually. Well, kind of. It's because you have like watch running for Tailwind. We have the hot reloading, and now that we hot reload CSS, just CSS. So without plugins, we hot reload stuff in the asset directory, specific stuff in the asset directory. So CSS is special cased. Just the sheer nature of those two features together means you get Tailwind hot reloading. This is sort of just like popped out as a byproduct. The default page has helpful like links. So you click that and it takes you to the docs. Like, so right when you start, it links to the awesome page as well. So if you have a cool project and you want to be put on the awesome page, community libraries points to Dioxus community, like the GitHub page, like your thing, Mark. Go, yeah. So you're every new Dioxus app that gets built, you get a link here. So we should keep this alive. I think this is a good place for like charts, dev tools. I mean, obviously this is like what's on the page, but yeah, I mean it's yours to play with. Don't put nasty stuff on this page, but this is the default link for all 0.4. And don't sell it, please. We're shipping this. I mean, don't sell this page and let someone else put like ads on it. The STD is also linked here. I kind of want to rename it to SDK. Someone, I mean, yeah, it's not like STD is a bad name, but SDK might be a better name, or like might be a better idea of what it is. Because it's kind of, we're like smoothing over platform libraries. Yeah. I mean, because you have like the STD. I don't know. Someone was like, STD, what is that? Yeah. But oh, we have the VS Code extension. This needs to be updated. I want to get more installs on this. I want everyone who uses VS Code and Dioxus to have this, or like 90% of people. Because one of the cool things, I've finally re-enabled it. We have auto formatting. So yeah, so it auto formats for us. I mean, it's always done that, but now it's really good. Somebody gave like a really good test case, and then I just spent like an entire day on it. To the YouTube on the template. Oh, if we could add like GitHub, Twitter, and YouTube icons, I think that would be good. Kind of like the different places you can find us. Like little icons, yeah. And that would be good as a demo of like embedding SVG. I mean, we have the SVG here. Is there like anything you would change about the default? Like yes and no, Mark, kind of. So like before, if you used like an if statement, you would have to do if vals greater than 10, right? And then you would have to do rsex, and then we would give up formatting that block. But now because like if and for are special, they just get auto formatted by default because they participate in the auto formatting. So in fewer places, you need to use nested macros. So they don't work all the time, but you need them in many fewer places. Yeah, Android works. it might be a lot of work to get that set up right now, but Android works. iOS had some regressions, and it's not my fault. It's not our fault. It's like the tooling we use. Um, so we'll see. I'll take another stab at mobile today during the release. I'm not going to change anything we're doing, but there might be something we can suggest in the guide that makes iOS work better. But yeah, Android works. Android's finally fixed. It wasn't even an issue with us. It was like an issue with Tao. We just needed to update the library. Hot reloading works in Android. Potentially. So the infrastructure is there. There's that. No, but it's a one-line fix to make it because it needs to use it's using the interprocess channel for hot reloading, but it needs to use like the network process. And we have both. We set up both. We just need to switch which one from mobile that we point to. See if I can get that done today. I think it would be cool to have hot reloading in Android. It's a little bit more difficult because we can't tear down the simulator. You would only get the UI. You would have to manually do full rebuilds because as far as I know, we can't do that. We have an entire sprint dedicated to mobile. Yeah, I've been debugging this, Mark, the Windows thing, at least like locally. I think the fix is in master right now, or main right now. But I don't want you to try it until like I'm confident that that is the fix. But if you can do that like in the next couple of hours, we'll get it fixed. It should be simple. It's just like looking for the wrong target directory. Yeah, as far as like getting the app on Android, definitely works. If it's as fun to develop, like we don't have the whole window resaving for like the simulator, like that's just tooling that doesn't exist in the Rust ecosystem at all. Oh, but we'll get there. It's like easy enough to develop in desktop mode and then like get your code working in Android and then like test in Android than it is like to do hot reloading, like to develop directly into Android. But yeah, Android just works right now. And then the template is not set up for it. And I might ask for help on this one. So like, let me hide this window. Yeah, you can use physical device. I think we have like some like custom rebuild command. If you did it like a reserve, I think you might be able to just drop in like cargo Android run as like the reserve command. And we might be able to just support that automatically. Something Evan has wanted for a long time was one launch function every platform because it's not very cohesive right now, and we have that now. So features default was web equals X web desktop equals X desktop. We'll kill this. We watch the cargo.toml. This will complain. Oh, it won't complain. Yeah, we restarted it. So we watch cargo.toml and oh, yeah. So it uses the default platform when you launch now. So there's no features on Dioxus. There's no features in default, but we can tell that since you have web and desktop declared as features, and your default platform is in Dioxus.toml, your default platform is desktop. We use that specifically. So we actually are passing the right features to your project, and you can see that now. So build features is a thing here. Yeah, so the VS Code source code, I'll send you that, is so we basically have this like shared functionality between the command line tools and the extension. And then the extension used to just shell out to the CLI, but now it does like WASM. Not a great setup, but it's decent. Access. Let me send that real quick. If you know a lot of JavaScript or like VS Code stuff. I actually could use a lot of help. We're going to be doing a lot with the extension in the next release. Okay, yeah. So we pass build features now automatically. So this wasn't a thing before. Before you had to like dxserve -- platform web -- features web. So now dxserve now interpolates those features based on the platform. So we've got desktop. We can do dxserve -- platform web. Honestly, JavaScript for the web might get you a job. Rust will get you a fun job, but you might not be doing a lot of front end. We're trying to change that, right? But JavaScript's not a bad bet. Oh, okay. Now we opened the web browser for you automatically as well. So that was the thing we didn't do before. When you dxserved, you had to specify open. Now we just do that for you. Hot reloading should still work. Oh, good. It's yes. Evan did change stuff in the props macro today, specifically around event handlers. If you're doing something there. Oh no. Are you like updated to the most recent? No. Can we disable opening web browser automatically? Yes. It's one of these flags. We are not putting the flag in the toml, but it is one of these flags. Okay. Can you make an issue for that, Mark? That should not have broke, but I did feel bad like merging that PR because it was like breaking and at the last minute. Yeah. Yeah. So we opened the web browser. I think we can disable that. Or yeah, it is a feature that you can disable. It's just like the default now. Again, is this the default everybody wants? Right now, like we'll run it again. dxserve opens for you. Okay. I think if the page is open, it will reuse the page. Yeah. Let me flip to a different tab. Yeah, it reuses the page if you have it. We also, I don't know who added this, but the network address is exposed. So you can access it on your local network. Oh, I can do it. Yes, I'll get into it with my phone. I forgot I was on camera, so I can show you 192 and 60. Yeah, here's my phone, and then we have simultaneous hot reloading, which is a cool thing. It was like what I was playing around with last night. So we save blue, and it works everywhere. So we don't have hot reloading in a simulator and like cross-platform yada 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 yada. But you can still have it on your phone, and you can still like edit live if you're like developing for mobile. So if you're doing like say the component library work and we wanted to work on mobile, instead of having to sit there and mess with that, you could just like open your phone and then spin up the hot reloading. And this even works with different platforms at once. So I actually don't know how to show that to you, but in theory, the tooling is set up that you can dxserve and we can boot a web, desktop, and mobile, and you get all three simulators running at the same time. All this stuff is reusing the same infrastructure. I don't know how to show that to you at the moment because I don't want to go through all that nonsense, but you can trust me. What else? Yeah, hot reloading works as you'd expect. Yeah. Yeah, Doge. I do really want. So there's like serverless Postgres, and there's like Postgres running in SQLite. I actually do want DXServe to open a VM with Postgres running in it and boot up like your database. The cool thing about asset hot reloading is we can add in images. Do I have a funny meme? No. Well, here. Too much space. Okay, and then so there's too much space, not PNG. Yeah, so you can get images also hot reloaded into your stuff, which is super cool. Well, hot reloaded. I mean, it still has to do has to move the assets over. That needs to be improved. Where like if you just add an asset, we just do an asset recompile. Right now we do a full recompile, which is like kind of unnecessary. But yeah, you could even edit the PNG and then like the changes would propagate without a full reload. So I don't know. I think in terms of is it quick to iterate on the UI of the app? I think we're kind of there. We should talk about state management while we're here, I guess, because that's the big headlining feature of this release. But we talked about it at length in the last office hours, so probably won't go too much into it. Yeah, the gist of it, the gist of the new thing is state is no longer use state, it's use signal. So let count equals use signal. We'll start at 0. So the big challenge that we had with the previous iteration of Dioxus was using state in futures was challenging. You have to clone, you have to call toOwned, is like this macro we came up with. There were lifetimes everywhere. What made when you edit the image, it triggers the hot reload. Not all assets are plumbed to be hot reloaded, but it will still be reloaded. So changing some assets, some types of assets will cause like the full rebuild. Yeah. So the new state. So before it was difficult to use state in futures, and so if you did like use future async move, you'd have to call let count equals count.clone. Like this had to be thing, and then this count had to be moved into the future. We have moved away from that model. So the new one is these are all copy. These are just like keys into the state of the component, which means there's no CX anymore. In fact, we don't even need the component macro. We could just call it app if we wanted to. It still works. It'll still reload. Let me delete this. I think it's choking on the image. Yeah. Yeah. So you can just do some work. So let me add, we're on what, web right now? Let me switch to desktop. Oops. That was fast. Okay. Yeah, and then cargo add Tokyo -- features full. Oh yeah, now when we modify cargo.toml, we get the full rebuild. So before, if you added a dependency while it was running, you wouldn't get the rebuild. Now you do. We can do things like Tokyo sleep 1 second, and then count plus equals 1. So we override the. I need to add more. I've only added like PNGs in there, but haven't done them all yet. Oops. And we need to call move, and then turn Dioxus. We will put the count in there. Cool. So now every second the count like ticks up, so you should be able to see. This was really complicated before. Now this is really fast. It's very simple. And then similarly, you can like do things in buttons. So let's add a button. This has kind of always existed. Unclick, move. But you can do async blocks. Async move. Click me, and then this. Let's say like Tokyo sleep. You know, make a request to a server. Do whatever you want. We'll wait. Yeah, we'll wait a second, and then we'll increment the count by like 10. Yeah, so it's clicking, we click, and then a second later it goes up by 10. Yeah, 2 moves because async closure is not supported. It's not my fault. That's a Rust thing. I mean, we could transform the syntax, but this is just like default Rust without having to be special. Yeah, you have to like move things into the scope, and then the async block is also its own scope. It's nasty, but this lets you do awaits in handlers, which is something you could have done before. You could like spawn and then do it, but you have to call clone on all your state. So you don't have to do that anymore. It's a lot better. We have automatic tracking, like dependency tracking. So use memo count times 2. It's like signals, or it's like signals in other frameworks, like solid. You call the state as if it were a function, and that gives you the current value. This does it through a clone, so you can access it without a clone, like through read and through with and all those things. But if you just want the value and it's cheap to clone or copy, that's what this will do. So let's say let doubled equals this. This gives us a memo type that we can pass down to the children, and then learn Dioxus doubled. We'll just put doubled. With the hot reload. Yeah, so this is completely automatic. So anytime count changes, this closure reruns and then gives you a doubled value. And we can click 1 second later, it doubles. It's automatic memoization based on the dependencies that it's tracking, and these are done automatically. So they're not done with the compiler, they're done with like runtime dependency tracking. One could feasibly imagine a world where you put like Dioxus forget on top of it, and doubled is doubled equals count times 2, kind of like the new React stuff that's company. You could feasibly see a world where this happens, but it doesn't happen today. And you would probably need a compiler plugin. I think Evan built that at one point. You can do things like futures are also driven by memos. So there's like favorite dog equals use resource. Async move. Nice. Oh, we gotta add requests. Argo. Then we'll reload. Yeah. Okay. And then we can just put in, and then I need to add cert edition. Cert JSON. I thought we added it. Oh, because there's no Dioxus forget macro. Yeah. And then favorite dog can come into here as an image. Search of a dog. Oh, resource. I thought it did. Oh, because it's pending. Value. That's ref. Unwrap or default. Ref. That dog image. Value. That's to string. Takes a second. And dog image. Oh, so now we get a dog loaded, and then in theory, let's turn off the auto tick. And then we can actually make this resource subscribe to the value. So count. We can just count. Oh, I killed the race. Cool. So resources are like memos. what is missing? Oh, everything is missing. Resources are like memos, but they're futures. So whenever you change the contents, um, or whenever the things that they're subscribed to change, the future will rerun, and then we'll see this like will flash to an empty image. But we can like fetch new dogs. So if I like click, it takes a second, and we get a new dog. I can click again, and we get a new dog. So you don't have to like set up any manual dependency tracking. So if you were just to be like, well, I don't know the dog CEO API, but you could like list 10 dogs or make that related to the count. Normally you would just like pass the breed in as a flag, as like one of these things, and then you can like query the breed. But yeah, so this is the gist of it. We've got futures, we've got all this hot reloading stuff. We've got CSS hot reloading, we got Tailwind hot reloading, we've got overhauled standard template, we got a shit ton of libraries. The extension's getting updated, auto formatting's there. We got a ton of like stuff on the awesome page. If you got projects you want to put on the awesome page, like be my guest. I think this is, you can edit this on GitHub somewhere. Yeah, to submit your project, make a pull request. Doge will help you out. Yeah, this is it. So this is a preview of the release. You kind of got to see us like stumble through some of the issues, but yeah. Any questions? And I guess thus ends the demo portion of this. We have like the regular office hours where people can ask questions and get help with their code. I don't know how much of that we have today, but you know, I'm here for you. Is SCSS support coming for all this? Don't we support SCSS already? Maybe. Do I need to add each image? I don't know if Manganese supports like folders. I would have to look. I don't think it does. There's definitely like a feature on its roadmap. One of the things we need to do. So Manganese is kind of like an explicit way of doing assets, but this whole like you're putting a link in here. This also gets picked up by our asset system. Like we know this is an asset, like links and images and stuff like this. So I don't know how you're rendering your images, but in theory, we don't run the optimization on these, but we could. Like Manganese has these in its context. Yeah. SCSS. I don't know. I think that's what like a plugin we were going to add it as. I don't think it was going to come in as a main feature. Shouldn't be that hard to add. Yeah, so I don't have the Android thing. Like we could do the hot reloading of the contents, but we couldn't tear down the emulator, or unless there was a way we could expose that command. Yeah, it's not that difficult to run it as a desktop app, and then Pico. It's not that difficult to run it as a desktop app while you're iterating, get all this, and then kind of stumble through making it work in Android, but it definitely is not the ideal workflow. The next, so we've got two main releases ahead of us. We've got this like full stack plus DevTools thing, and then we've got mobile. And I'm like kind of amenable to moving mobile up and moving some of the DevTools around. The DevTools would be things like you have the router in your app, which we didn't talk about, but you have like the router in your app, and like the VS Code gives you the option to like press a button and it generates a component in a new file, like with the contents seeded from the context of your code base. So you added like a blog post route to your router, and then like it gives you a little magic action to like spin out a file. We're kind of thinking like we can just pass it through some AI thing and it like tries to write the component for you. I don't know. Will it be helpful? Maybe not. But being able to then like hot reload that, so you can like add pages to your app. Right now, if we do dxserve, we could in theory, well, if I scroll, we could in theory like dump all the roots in the app. We don't. But that would be cool, right? Like you know that you have home, blog, you have like a list of blog posts you can visit. Being able to navigate the pages without having to go through the app. Yeah. Yeah, Dioxus query being updated would be nice. Does it work with signals yet? Maybe. It's a community library. Yeah. Query. No. Okay. Yeah, that would be nice. Oh, we also added suspense. Like you can run certain like certain futures only on the server and only certain futures only on the client. And it would be really nice if Query had that integrated. Honestly, we might mainline Query. I don't know. I might get your help on that because it'd be nice to have Query integrate with the router and full stack. Um, it's also like really annoying to have to fetch across platforms. Request is fine, but like Tokyo's yucky. So being able to set that up automatically would be useful too. Like hover preloads, bundle splitting, all that kind of would want Query in the loop. Any other questions or things people are running into, problems, bugs, feature requests? Oh yeah, a ton. How good's your Rust, Robin? Not amazing. Is it passable? Uh, there's some stuff I would like to just clean up in the command line tools. I mean, I feel like, yeah, Andrew, you had your hands in there at one point, and you're definitely commenting on it. It's like fair enough, but yeah, it's messy. It's sometimes it's good when code is messy because you can like fly through it faster, which is what made getting these features in quick. Um, but yeah, it's messy and it kind of needs to be cleaned up. Like our hot reloading is like implemented differently for like all different platforms, which is not great. Uh, some refactoring. I would love for this like little panel to be interactive. I don't know. We were talking about this a while back. I don't think our 2e render is in that great of a spot right now. So maybe we just do Ratatouille generally, like switch to Ratatouille, which is kind of funny. We have a 2e render, but we use Ratatouille. But it actually might be nice to get more of an interactive thing. And then like being able to flip between, so like turn up, like dynamically turn up the log level would be nice. So like I hate having to like quit the app, restart it with like a tracing level. Uh, yeah. Honestly, if you wanted to work on this, that could be helpful. So one of the features, yeah, I want to be able to switch between my tracing level and then enter certain crates as different tracing level on the fly. So like if I'm building a query library or a component library, I just want to debug the component library. And having to do that manually is a pain. And then also piping logs in from the browser into the CLI would be super useful. So like if you're on a web, you do a log tracing. Spin up several platforms for development. We don't have docs on that yet. We only have like each individual platform. There's not a way to. uh, Honestly, you could just like dxserve. So what I've been just doing is like dxserve platform web, and oh, uh, dependencies. How do we do this? Oh, yeah, for these multi-target setups, that fig not target OS equals Some 32. Figure it out. You can disable dependencies on WASM. We should, in the template, we should make that a thing, like your web dependencies, your desktop dependencies. I don't know the syntax off the top of my head. I think it's yeah, I don't know. You can get it working. I'll kill Tokyo real quick. You don't actually need Tokyo. Yeah. Currently, yes, but we like the architecture is there that it's parallelizable. Like it's all architected to be multi-launch simultaneous. It's just the command line tools don't expose a way of doing that yet. Yeah, another CLI feature. Yeah, I mean, there's so much that's going into the CLI. So Evan's gonna be looking at full stack and then honestly some AI stuff. We're having fun with it. I don't know. like the dev tools to like generate new components and testing. We constantly break our docs, so it'd be nice to like get that automated to like they're not broken. Yeah, Evan's gonna be playing with that, but we have all these CLI features. Will this mess up caching for quick rebuilds? No. The whole point of the caching is like it works across platform. Like simultaneous, it's a simultaneous cache that feeds into the multiple platforms. Hopefully not. That's kind of what I'm thinking there a little bit, Dodge. We kind of want things like select and checkboxes and stuff to have like these Rust integrations, but like generally, like the ShadCN and stuff, it would be nice to generate all that. Video elements create multiple requests. In both downloads. I'll take a look at this. Is one just, is it getting cached? I'll take a look at this later. We don't do it on purpose. There's like no reason why we would make that request twice. I don't know how it works in other libraries, but like if it's just getting mounted, it would maybe like do initial fetch and then like it completes the download or something. In the stream and then continuing the stream, or is it like doing it in chunks or something? I don't think it's anything that we're doing. Are video assets also hot reloadable? They will changing a video asset will cause a rebuild, but right now it doesn't hot reload in place. We could do a hot reload in place. Like, again, I haven't thought of every single MIME type that the browser supports yet. Cool. Well, if there's any other questions, I'll take them. Otherwise, I think that might be it for today's office hours. We need to make a video. Maybe I don't know. I think I was a little too rambly with the demo today for that to just be the video itself, but we should make a video today and then publish it with the release. Cool. Okay. Well, thank everybody for coming. I appreciate it. We have a very global audience today. That was good. Yeah, I'll link that out. I'll send you that after this. It's just in the CLI at the moment. Yeah, been a lot of work. But it seems to ooze polish now, which is what I want. I want it when people like pick it up to just like work. I don't know if it's always been like that. All right. See you guys.